So during a meditation the other day, I had a download about the similarity of perfection and perception, right? And so I'm going to share with you what I received in that meditation that I thought was very powerful, how it can help you, how it helped me, and how I've applied it, right? So what's interesting is my last video I did on this vlog was about memory loss. And I invite you to watch it. I'll put it up. I'll put a link to it. Yet, I called it the perfection of memory loss, which I realize is going out there. And it's all like how you would look at it, because some people could really be triggered by that. Some people could say, hey, it's not a good thing, or I'm having trouble with it, or it's painful for this person that's in my life. And I get all that, and I explain that in the video. Yet what if that all our perceptions are not accurate to what's really happening in reality, what's really happening in truth, and what's really going on here? And our error perception is judging everything as if it's dangerous or fearful or harmful or not what we want. And therefore, we suffer. Therefore, it's not always fun on everything that sorry, getting this microphone a little closer, but it's not necessarily the experiences in our life are always what we would call enjoyable, or like, why did that have to happen? And we have these judgments around the events in our life without knowing the whole picture, without knowing necessarily the why and the will of the universe, of God, of love. And so really what was given to me and that I want to share with you is that our perception is, number one, kind of the problem, that we have to let go of what we think we know, what we think we're seeing, what we think we understand, and allow the perfection to unfold, allow the perfection to be seen, retrain our minds, retrain our vibration, our frequency, and this complete level of faith and trust and knowing that everything that we label in our lives, that happens in our lives, that we judge in our lives, that goes on, is part of the perfection unfolding, and that is serving us on a level that we can't imagine. And at some level, we signed up for this. We, wanted this to happen. And I want to, touch on that. There's a lot of spiritual teachings, and this is huge, that I want to share with you. A lot of spiritual teachings, around manifestation, and it can make people feel bad or guilty, like, I caused this? Like, I wanted this to happen? No way. I didn't want this death. I didn't want this disease. I didn't want this memory loss. I didn't want, this job firing. I didn't want this. And there's no way I would have done this to myself. And that's exactly what this video is about. This isn't about guilt. This isn't about judging. This isn't about looking at it in that way. It's about changing your perception, that knowing all of this was created out of perfection, out of letting go and dissolving the illusions that we see in this world, and knowing that those things were necessary to get us back to source, to get us closer to God, to have self-realization and to know thyself. And without it, we would just be operating in the illusion. We'd be operating in the fear. It wouldn't really nudge us in the direction we always intended to go. Does that make sense? And so this isn't, an opportunity spiritually to be like, oh, I caused this, and now I get to feel bad about that. Now I'm worried about what I'm thinking. I'm worried about what I'm feeling, and I'm staying stuck because of that. You can actually take these problems, these perceived things that you said, we don't like, and know that they are moving us, allowing us, helping us, serving us in the right direction. And I just feel like that's so much more of a powerful, empowering way to understand this journey called life and all the things that happen into it. Yesterday, I had a gut punch in the middle of the day right before I was going to go into an appointment, and it was like not good news. And so, and I was just like, I noticed myself like looking at it, judging. I was like, this is bad. That now, it had to do with some money stuff. And I was like, now how am I going to pay for this? Or what's going to happen here? Like just, and I started spiraling, and that's what we do. And so, I had this judgment as if I knew, as if like I knew like that may turn out negatively or going to harm me, or that it was going to make my life harder. All BS, all things I don't know, all assumptions, right? And really only right now is all that's real. And that, as we shift of that back to what's real and who we really are and the truth of now and love, then, the perfection that's always waiting here for us starts revealing itself. It starts, dissolving the layers of this fear and this lack and the problems of the world. And we start trusting that, like, gosh, that event is serving me. And so I shifted and I went in and I served, these people. I stayed in the moment. I came from love. I remembered who I was. I remembered who they were. And it was a really interesting, situation. And regardless of the outcome, like that's what it was about. I could say, oh, I had the outcome that I, wanted from an ego standpoint. But even if it hadn't gone that way, then really I demonstrated to my higher self and to what's real that I was committed to living in my truth, to being in love, to connecting with Source. And that nothing that happens in this world can cause me to not be in that unless I choose that. And that's the unlearning. That's the undoing. And that's the letting go that so many things talk about, is how do we apply this? How do we apply spiritual, allowing and letting go? And it really is trusting in this moment, with everything that appears to be happening in this world, that all is well, that it's going to be fine, that we don't need anything to go the way we think it needs to go in order to feel secure or feel peaceful or feel joyful. And this is my life's purpose. This is, what I'm teaching and I'm learning and I'm living. And that's what oneness is getting, not really I was about to say getting back, but returning to what always has been, that in this space-time linear reality that we've forgotten. It's right here, right now, always. And it appears like this all the way. But when we go within, when we remember, when we let go of the things of this world and our body and all the things that seem to weigh us down, and we operate from within, and then we wake up to that, and we allow that, and we soak into that, then we come from that with everything that we do, that we are. And that's where the joy happens. That's the the real secret, is not trying to control the world out there in some form of manifestation that we think would make us happier, but reawakening, reigniting that light, that knowing, that God source that is us, that we feel separated from in these bodies with what our eyes think is happening, and then bringing that out to our day, bringing it out to what our lives and the people around us. And then we're the expression of our truth, self-realization in physical form. So I invite you to remember that, to watch this, that the perfection is unfolding whether you believe it or not. And you can have a resistant road that's very bumpy and say this is not perfection, or you can have a very joy-filled, healing mindset and experience if you are allowing and surrendering and coming from love and trusting that everything, every perceived problem, every event, collectively in the world, within your life, within your job, within your family, are all inducing and helping and serving you to wake up to truth. And our job is not to judge the event. Our job is to use that event as another reminder that we get to be the source of healing. We get to let go of things that no longer serve us. And it's all an opportunity to remember to be who we are, to experience oneness. So deep topic, looking forward to getting into that more. I'm going to be launching the Onement course here in a little bit, which is basically more like a community, which is really what I've had in mind for many years. Excited to be doing that. Definitely have some trepidation. I'll be launching that. You're invited. It's going to be free. And so I'm so excited. We'll be going into this more and like other ways you can really tap into this, really apply it and live it in your life. So couldn't be more excited. Thanks so much for being here. Would love a like, a share, a comment. It can be lonely just putting these videos on the internet, and so would love for to hear from you and see what it meant for you if you have any questions. So much love, my friend. Thank you so much, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.